by removing the excess from it. We are purified of the excess and defects of our emotions of pity and fear. The third theory is clarification theory. That means by watching a tragedy, we have a better understanding of the universal law of things. By watching the incidents enacted on the stage in a tragedy, we get a better idea of life, and that means in this way it clarifies the things, it clarifies the universal law of existence, universal law of life to us. Yes, next.
Now let us.
Yes, now let us discuss in brief Shakespearean tragedy. Shakespeare, as we all know, was a very great dramatist of the 16th century England, and he has written many tragedies. He has written some 37 plays in all, and he has also written many tragedies. Now there are certain things which are common in the Greek tragedy and the Shakespearean tragedy. There are certain things in which Shakespeare differs from the concept of Greek tragedy. Let us discuss in brief the characteristics of a Shakespearean tragedy. In many ways, Shakespearean tragedy is a clear departure from the classical conception of tragedy. Shakespeare has not offered us any definition of tragedy, right? We have the theory of Greek tragedy in the form of the Poetics by Aristotle, but so far as Shakespeare's tragedy is concerned, he himself has not given us any conception of it, any theory of tragedy, but his view of tragedy is very much clear. We can have an idea of his view of tragedy from his own tragedy, the tragedies that he has written. Next, these are his four major tragedies: Hamlet, Othello, Macbeth and King Lear. Characteristics of Shakespearean tragedy: no play at the end of which the hero remains alive is in the full Shakespearean sense a tragedy, right? In a Shakespearean tragedy, the hero dies at the end. In Greek tragedy, this was not, a compulsion. In many of Greek tragedies also the hero dies, but we have the examples of many tragedies in which the hero does not die. No doubt his suffering is 100 times worse than their life, but then some heroes do not die at the end of the tragedy, but in a Shakespearean tragedy a hero definitely dies. And but this death of the hero, if an instantaneous death as a result of any accident, is not to be found in a Shakespearean tragedy. It is at the end of so many pain and suffering. He has to pass through a phase of sufferings, and at last the hero dies. For the Greek tragedy, for the Greeks, tragedy need not end in disaster, but a Shakespearean tragedy is in fact a tale of suffering and calamity conducting to death. It is said that the fifth act of a tragedy is most of the times the scene of the deathbed. Yes. A Shakespearean tragedy is a story of exceptional calamity. He has to suffer like anything. The hero has to suffer like anything, and that's why the emotions of pity and fear are aroused. They are excited. There are many characters in a Shakespearean tragedy, but it is concerned primarily with one person. In Greek tragedies, there are less characters than the Shakespearean tragedy. In the Shakespearean tragedy, we find many characters, but particularly, primarily, it is concerned with one person or two, hero and heroine. In the case of, as example, in the case of Julius and Caesar, it is the tragedy of Brutus in one sense. In the case of Othello, there are two persons, the hero and the heroine, right? Othello and Desdemona. In the case of Macbeth, Macbeth and Lady Macbeth. In the case of Romeo and Juliet, Romeo and Juliet, right? Yes. Shakespearean tragic hero is a person of high degree. He is a king or a prince, or he is a political leader, or he belongs to a very prestigious house. For example, Romeo and Juliet, they are not children of kings or princes, but they belong to very high family. Their houses are very prestigious in the society, and whatever happens in their houses becomes public issues, Right. Public are interested in whatever happens in their houses. Next thing, Shakespeare's tragic hero is a person of high degree. His actions and sufferings are also of an unusual kind. His nature is also exceptional. It is not that his calamity, his suffering is exceptional. At the same time, his nature is also exceptional. They have certain things in them that raise them, raise them in our eyes, and it seems that they are above the average humanity, right? For example, Brutus is a genius person, right? Macbeth or Othello are great warriors. Romeo is a genuine and great lover, right? So the nature, the nature of a Shakespearean tragic hero is also exceptional. Next, this is what Dr. Harrison has to say about a Shakespearean hero. Shakespearean hero is an embodiment of unbending courage, iron determination, and dynamic self-confidence, and like a true hero, jumps into the ocean of catastrophe, leaving in readers' mind an impression that could hardly be brushed aside. Next, the calamities of tragedy proceed mainly from actions, the actions of the hero. So, in a Shakespearean tragedy, it is said that the character is destiny. Whatever the hero suffers, it is because of his own mistake. Something that he has done, he has to suffer because of it. Yes, the hero always contribute. Friends, we will have to conclude it within 5 minutes. The hero always contributes in some measure to the disaster in which he perishes. He errs by action or omission. Sometimes he acts, sometimes he omits. For example, you see the delay in the case of Hamlet. That is omission of action, and that sometimes becomes the reason of his catastrophe. His error joining with other causes brings on him ruin. It is not that only his action. Sometimes it seems that the deed of the actor, the hero, the action of the hero is not solely responsible for whatever falls upon him or for his own fall. It joins with other causes as well. Next, conflict. We find conflict in Greek tragedy in the same way. There is an element of conflict in the Shakespearean tragedy as well. Conflict can be between two persons of whom the hero is one, right? We have the example of Othello. There is a conflict between two persons, Othello and Iago, right? The hero is one, between two persons of whom the hero is one, or between two persons, two parties or two groups, and the hero is a leader of one of them, as in the case of Julius Caesar. On one side there is Cassius and Brutus and others, on the other there is Antony, there is Octavius, right, and others. Though the hero is responsible for sometimes there is one more thing that I would like to make a mention of is sometimes there is a conflict between two ideas or passions, right? So the idea of love is in conflict. Idea of love in Romeo and Juliet is in conflict with the hatred of the families between the hero and the heroine, right? But Shakespeare also deals with the inner conflict as well as the outer conflict. There is external conflict as well as the internal conflict. For example, there is a conflict between the treacherous ambition of Macbeth and the loyalty and patriotism in characters like Macduff or Malcolm. But at the same time, there is a conflict between the two of them. But these two elements also collide in the soul of Macbeth himself. There is a struggle between Claudius and Hamlet, but at the same time there is a conflict in the soul of Hamlet, and it is this internal conflict that interests us more. Next slide.
Just one or two more slides, and then we'll be switching over.
Yeah, of
If
course.
possible, just one or two more
yes,
slides.
yes.
Just 2 minutes.
We'll try to conclude it within 1 or 2 minutes.
I'll just like to discuss about the poetic justice.
Yes.
Sir, please.
Thank you.
poetic justice, there is no poetic justice into a Shakespearean drama, which is one of the major characteristics of Shakespearean tragedy. We can have the basic difference between Greek tragedy and Shakespearean tragedy is that in a Greek tragedy, the plot is the first principle, the soul of a tragedy. Character holds the second position. In a Shakespearean tragedy, character comes first. So character is destiny and fate is responsible for his downfall. Later on, that's it. That was all. I hope you have enjoyed the session. We basically wanted to deal with the differences that are in the
Yes,
Greek tragedy and
differences between the
Shakespearean
Greek
tragedy. It is
tragedies.
unity of time, place,
Yes.
and action, and fate. Which fate is responsible for Greek tragedy, while so far as Shakespearean tragedy is concerned, it is the character that is.
Yes, what are the differences
responsible.
between a Greek tragedy
Yes,
and a
and
Shakespearean tragedy?
That's all from the studio.
Yes.
We have.
Time does
Thank
not
you.
permit. Thank you.
I hope you have enjoyed. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Himanshu.
Sandhan, All Gujarat Integrated Classroom.
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.